This yawning ass nigga.
And we are live. If it didn't happen on screen, it didn't happen.
This yawning ass nigga.
Yeah, we in here. What up, Betty? What up, Sean
Hey,
P?
Betty.
What up, Honey Dragon?
Hey, Honey Dragon.
Yeah, we had the animation up for a few months now. For the welcome to the stream and thanks for watching.
Here's the
thing,
geese,
right? The geese moving.
Here's the thing, right?
And talking.
So I've been doing a bunch of animation for the comic books and all that other shit, and I've been sending those things in on Discord in our offices on Majestic. So Honey had seen a whole bunch of crazy shit. So I guess when she sees it, like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like I said, I forget which model you had used to do that, but I know the first
remember.
time I saw it
at the time. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing was I tried so many different ones and they was all messed up and this was wrong, and then it changed the geese to something else, and but I just happened to stumble across this. I think it was Heijin.
Damn. See, now the thing with Heijin is I've tried to use it, but my results was trash.
That was like iteration number 7. Yeah. See, it wasn't just the first one out. No,
that's part of the experience of using these models to animate. Yeah. It's iteration, bro. Now I will say this: Google doing that thing.
Oh yeah, VO is
yeah, and they just added the image thing to VO3, so you get audio with it too. That shit, nigga.
Yeah.
I can imagine, and I know this is. I'm probably thinking this will happen slower than it actually will. You're gonna be able to do at least a whole TV show, half an hour TV show with this shit.
Yeah.
By next year, another 2 years, or something like that. Shit look crazy.
Yeah.
So, give me a second, because I have so many goddamn tabs open.
Yeah, that's that ADHD.
That's exactly what the fuck it is. And it's ass, but at the same time, it's to be expected.
We are who we are.
I said it's to be expected.
We are exactly who we are, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, that's a fact. But it's still early enough.
Yeah.
To do the damn intro.
Indeed, it is.
Me.
Okay.
And me too. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Some of y'all get on my goddamn nerves, and we're going to talk about it later on in the show.
I mean,
some of y'all get on my goddamn nerves. And of course, now, when I say some of y'all, I'm not talking to our lovely audience.
No.
The people that listen to us, like, they're already well-adjusted, well-meaning human beings, right? I'm talking about the ones of you that may have just come across this podcast in some way, just by accident, just because it somehow matched your algorithm. I'm probably talking about you.
Yeah,
to be honest,
it's probably likely.
It's highly likely. I'm talking about you. Yeah, y'all get on my goddamn nerves. Like I said, we gonna talk about it.
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair too. Listen, look, the world is a very crazy place. What you see people doing currently is putting the word now on it. The world is a very crazy place now. Let me disabuse you of all of that. The world has always been a crazy place. Right?
Indeed.
A bunch of carbon-based scumbags walking across the face of the planet. A beast man devouring who he made. Right? It's always been the case. It's always been ass. Sometimes it's a little better than other times, but to be clear, that's always been the case. The issue I'm having now is that I get to see more of y'all because of this damn internet. I get to see all of y'all and all your shining glory. It's disgusting.
Gina, you were not first.
This is that's payback. That's nothing but payback. That's nothing but payback for my shenanigans. On the
You brought this upon us. God dang it!
Podcast.
Terrible. Ridiculous.
Listen.
Hey, isn't it? What is this? The consequences of your own actions. God damn it!
I just be asking.
Can't even blame her.
So I be putting a question mark most of the time today.
Every now and then. That ain't always a question. It's often a declarative statement.
Listen. I'll be trying to help.
Oh, okay.
I'll be trying to help.
That is.
Listen, I'll be on there. I'll be trying to tell people, man, hit that thumbs up. I play too much.
Sure.
All y'all in here not hitting no thumbs up. You obviously like it. You in here.
I mean, that's a fact.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Help them out. Help some sisters out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. It's just that, you know, I'm trying to carve a space.
Oh, okay.
A space.
By being a nuisance.
Listen. Now, you can say that.
I mean, I will. I believe I'm uniquely qualified to say such.
Yo, that remind me of that old ass video we did. That old promotional video for the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This motherfucker. Yo, that was probably my favorite part of that video. You was like, I just want to apologize. That shit was hilarious. You know what? I'm going to try to find some of those old things and just put them up on the damn page and shit. If they're not already up here.
I mean,
I'm not even certain if we even uploaded those.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Shared them all over the goddamn place, and maybe not here.
Yeah, it's possible.
It is entirely possible. Look, because I do dumb shit like that all the time. Like, oh well, sometimes it is calculated because, for instance, with the Kickstarter, Singularity Kickstarter, like we did I did an interview with Christopher last year, I believe, but I only released it on Patreon.
Right.
So now that, you know, we're in these final stages to get to the launch the campaign, I made it go live on the Majestic Comics.
That's perfect.
YouTube channel.
Yep.
So here's the thing, though. It's literally been on private there.
Yeah.
For the longest time. Yeah.
All right, Billy Joel.
Yeah, but yeah, we in here, and some, you know, listen. Somebody gonna get leaned on today because
several people
get leaned on.
So, first off, it seems we have another Divine update. First, let's recap.
All right, Honey Dragon. Man, get you back up.
First, let's get a little recap in. Now, normally, the way that I would recap is from my notes, right?
Okay.
I would rely on my notes for such a thing. But today I have a recent Google review from a recently former employee of Divine Counseling. It's a little minute. It got. I'm gonna have to.
Is it a little racy?
It's look at this shit. It's a little. Yeah, it's a little okay.
Oh,
so we. All right.
Oh my.
So this is how it starts. Brace yourself. If ghetto, unorganized, and incompetent had a business name, this would be it. As a former, fortunately, employee, I would not recommend this place to anyone who takes their healthcare journey seriously. I worked in the PRP department where frequent illegal activity took place. There is documentation that this company is using people's Medicaid information to create referrals and authorizations without their consent or awareness. Jeez. Employees are documenting interactions with people that they have never met and then billing for these interactions.
That's insane.
Medicaid fraud is real, alive, and well at this organization.
God damn you, Doge.
They had me and my colleagues who are unlicensed creating referrals as if we were the therapists and signing the therapist's name on these forms. With absolutely no information, we were asked to create a psychological history of these people, a diagnosis code, and specific examples on why these people qualified for services. The company claims to be about the community, but they are targeting and taking advantage of people of color to line their pockets. Strike one. Listen to this. Listen to this segue.
Crazy.
Wait, listen to this segue. Now for the shenanigans.
What? What?
Now for the
now.
So what you just said.
To be clear, that other stuff up there, that's not the shenanigans. The shenanigans are what's happening going forward.
Now for the shenanigans.
That is diabolical.
Okay. I started in October 2024. The company found out in January 2025 that this is where more of the recap part is. The company found out January 2025 that they were having financial hardship. The company informed everyone around 6 weeks later that they were struggling with their bills and would not be able to pay us. Strike 2 and 3. They gave employees zero turnaround time to get their lives and bills together when the company knew for weeks that they had no money. Their excuse was that they didn't want to impact or concern/stress us, aka they wanted us to keep working. Right. Fast forward a few weeks, my former colleague tells me she checked her 401k and several contributions have been canceled. I checked my pay stub and the 401k contributions have been coming out successfully for months. We inform HR and HR is as useful as our non-existent paychecks. I contact the 401k company and they said it would have had to be initiated on the employer's end. Like, what are you doing with my money, brokey?
Yeah.
Strike 4. Fast forward another few weeks. Why am I getting a notice that my doctor's appointment is canceled because my insurance coverage has been terminated? I called my insurance and it ended on March 31st. But it's May and insurance deductions are still coming out of my paycheck. What strike am I on? They tell us they're working to get it reinstated instead of reimbursing me. Reinstating the insurance only applies if you pay out of pocket, and I'm not doing that. So I went months without my doctor's appointment because Little Miss Community can't pay her bills. Cool. Fast forward, and we're at the end of May. I don't know because I've repressed the entire experience. Guess what? Our paychecks are delayed again. Oh, you're done. That isn't the worst part. The worst part is the company emailing specific people asking for their banking information via email. Okay, weirdo. So that they can get paid immediately. Why is there a hierarchy on who gets paid first, you ask? You're better off asking for the meaning of life. When I found out we weren't getting paid, I asked if there was any other way to receive payment. The answer was no. So when I found out they were making special circumstances for others, I called them on their inconsistencies and I called them liars. They said that certain people are getting paid before others because certain departments make more money. Nonetheless, I called them weird and told them to stop trying to be sneaky. I was told that while these were difficult times, that respect was to be maintained.
Nah, hell no. No. Listen, the moment you play with my money, the moment you play with my intelligence, the word respect should not even be coming out of your mouth. Because one, I'm made of rubber. That shit you did over here,
facts.
I'm bringing that shit back with
Facts.
more velocity and more force, right? So like, nah, these motherfuckers think they can do shit like this and then require respect from somebody. Nah, that's crazy.
You played with my check twice, stole my 401k, and canceled my insurance. Respectfully, learn how to pay your bills and manage your business. Strike unknown. All in all, about 3 days after this occurrence, I was given a termination letter due to, quote, a significant decrease in workforce requirements, end quote. Fantastic. So why are you having someone replace my position then? This company couldn't act like they have any sense if the state of Maryland was coming to shut them down. Fingers crossed. My point, don't come here, don't work here. So, wow. Yeah, so that's a recap.
All right, so just a couple of things. You know, the length of time that we have been going over the happenings at this particular business, we were assured several times that changes will be made.
Change gonna come.
That the reins will be pulled in. They're gonna get control of this bucking bronco of a business. Surely the things that were wrong there were wrong only because of inexperience. You had the inexperience of the owner. You had the inexperience of the human resources. Just inexperience. We don't know what we're doing. This isn't malicious. And you guys are affecting the jobs of 100 people.
100 black families.
Excuse me, 100 black families.
Yeah, that's what this
is what we were told.
Yeah.
I want you all to remember that, because this is the face of gaslight. This is what it looks like. Imagine Loki does his tricks and ruins your life. And when you confront Loki on it in a manner that actually fits the situation, he tells you, now be respectful. We shouldn't be talking to each other like that. No, motherfucker, you shouldn't have done what you did. That's what we got.
That part.
That's what we got. We got, it was so disrespectful. That is a chain of behavior. That is a tactic. It's obviously a tactic because they're actually using it with other people. They violate that you should have no business doing illegal shit. They literally are screwing with the livelihoods of entire black families, right? But when approached for accountability, they go into this whole thing about, well, wait a minute, y'all shouldn't talk to us this way because that's not, I mean, we can't, because you've exhausted that. When you were given the benefit of the doubt, it didn't matter because you went right back to doing all the things you say was done by accident. It was incompetence, not maliciousness. That's not what this looks like. It's not what this looks like. And as the levee breaks and more of these stories come out, this starts to look more and more like a scam. It does.
Well,
just saying.
Scam is an interesting word for you to use. So now that we're all caught up, let's see what Miss Kara has been up to lately. She bought a Labubu doll. Now, a lot of you may not know what that is, and I don't blame you because I don't really know what it is either. I first heard about it a few weeks ago, and basically, it turns out they are basically expensive collectible things, like a more generally expensive version of like a Funko Pop. A bunch of nothing that basically costs hundreds of dollars per.
Yeah.
Like, let me see. I just looked up Labubu doll price, and I'm looking. It's a popular products. I'm looking. I see 370, 365,
jeez,
239, 1307,
man,
169, 180. So there are a couple that aren't in the hundreds, but most of them that are popping up on the screen are in the hundreds, and a couple of them were in the thousands. So,
man,
so that's that's one thing that she's been up to. She got her first Labubu doll.
So she's spending Medicare.
Hey, I don't. Hey.
I'm asking. I'm not saying she's. I'm asking.
I don't know.
Is that what's happening?
I'm just. Oh well. So she's been taking pictures in front of what I assume to be her Range Rover. She cute.
Interesting.
She cute. She went to the Grand National Tour to see Kendrick and SZA. Yeah, I'm sure.
Wow,
I'm sure she enjoyed.
Sure, she had a great time.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about the show.
I thought the show. I've seen clips.
Yeah, absolutely. Divine finally did their annual filing and reporting for the year 2025. About a week or so ago, though. So yeah, in July.
Huh?
In July.
You said it was a week or so?
Yeah, about July 2nd or something like that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, but that's great. They finally, they got it. Yeah. And she's being sued. The plaintiff is Alpha Equity Fund. They are a New York-based entity. Defendants are Divine Counseling LLC, Divine Zen Properties and Investments, Mays Family Tree Investments, Faithful Works. These companies are organized under the laws of Maryland. And the guarantor is...
Wait, what's the name of it? Faithful Works?
Yeah, that's one of them. The guarantor is... That's hilarious. Kara Ashley Raquel Baltimore. She is the guarantor, the personal guarantor for this situation. Now, what's the lawsuit about? Alpha Equity Fund claims that they entered into 2 agreements with the company defendants. In these agreements, Alpha Equity Fund bought the rights to a total of $133,000 in future payments, receivables that the company defendants were expected to earn. Under these agreements, the company defendants were supposed to send Alpha Equity Fund 25% of their receivables until the full amount was paid back. The company defendants also agreed to let Alpha Equity Fund withdraw these percentages directly from the specific bank account. What went wrong? Alpha Equity Fund says they paid the company defendants for these future receivables, and initially the company defendants made their payments. However, Alpha Equity Fund claims that the company defendants stopped sending them their share of the receivables and intentionally blocked Alpha Equity Fund from getting these payments, even though the company defendants are still operating and making money. How much money is involved? For what up, Cindy?
Hey, Cindy.
How much money is involved? For the first agreement, Alpha Equity Fund claims the company defendants still owe $37,876 plus $4,200 in non-sufficient funds fees and $11,200 in default fees. For the second agreement, Alpha Equity Fund claims the company defendants still owe $23,390 plus $4,600 in NSF fees and $10,000 in default fees. In total, Alpha Equity Fund claims there's a balance of $91,266 still owed, plus interest, costs, and other expenses. What does Alpha Equity Fund want? Alpha Equity Fund is suing for 2 main reasons. Number 1, breach of contract. They claim the company defendants broke their agreement by not paying them the purchase receivables. They are asking for $91,266 from the company defendants for this. Number 2, personal guarantee. They claim that Kara Ashley Raquel Baltimore, the guarantor, personally guaranteed that the company defendants would fulfill their obligations. Since the company defendants allegedly breached the agreement, Alpha Equity Fund is seeking the same $91,266 from the guarantor based on this personal guarantee. Essentially, Alpha Equity Fund wants the court to order the defendants to pay them the $91,266 they believe they are owed, plus additional interest and fees. What happens next? The defendants are being summoned, officially notified, and are required to provide a written answer to the complaint within a specific time frame, 20 or 30 days, depending on how they were served. If they don't respond, a judgment could be entered against them by default. So, based on the provided summons and complaint, here are the potential ramifications for the defendants: Divine Counseling LLC, DBA Divine Counseling, the Divine Intervention Consultation Services LLC, Divine Zen Properties and Investments LLC, Mays Family Tree Investments LLC, which is not in good standing with the SDAT, by the way, Faith of Work Inc., and Kara Ashley Raquel Baltimore. Financial judgment. The most immediate and significant ramification is that Alpha Equity Fund is seeking a judgment of $91,266 plus interest, costs, and disbursements. If the court rules in favor of Alpha Equity Fund, the defendants will be legally obligated to pay this amount. Default judgment. If the defendants fail to serve an answer to the attached complaint within the specified time limits, a judgment could be entered against them by default for the relief demanded in the complaint without further notice. This means they could lose the case without even representing their side.
Oh, my goodness.
Personal liability for Kara Ashley Raquel Baltimore. Kara Ashley Raquel Baltimore, as the guarantor, is specifically named in the second cause of action for a personal guarantee. This means that if the company defendants are found to have breached the agreement, Kara Ashley Raquel Baltimore could be held personally responsible for the entire amount owed to Alpha Equity Fund, even if the companies themselves cannot pay.
So whoa.
So basically, generally,
right?
Generally, the purpose of forming an LLC is to protect personal property.
Yeah.
But because the claim is that she personally guaranteed the repayment, this nullifies the protection of the LLC.
She fucked up.
So let me see where we at. Okay, enforcement of judgment. If a judgment is entered against the defendants, Alpha Equity Fund could take steps to collect that money. This might include wage garnishment. If the individual defendant has wages, a portion can be withheld to pay the judgment. Bank account levy. Funds in the defendant's bank accounts could be frozen and seized. Asset seizure. Other assets such as property or equipment could potentially be seized and sold to satisfy the debt. Impact on business operations. For the company defendants, a judgment could severely impact their financial stability and ability to operate. Their bank accounts could be affected, and their credit worthiness could be damaged. Legal costs. Beyond the judgment amount, the defendants would likely incur their own legal fees if they choose to defend themselves in court. If they lose, they might also be ordered to pay Alpha Equity Fund's legal costs and disbursements. Credit impact. A judgment against the defendants would likely appear on their credit reports, potentially making it difficult to obtain loans, lines of credit, or enter into other financial agreements in the future. Wow.
Just wow.
So, yeah. That's a thing that happened.
Yeah.
It's happening.
It's not stopped happening.
I don't. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Yo, this is crazy.
Is there a
This
date?
is crazy work.
I need a date. Dated June 4th, 2025. The summons. So that means she got a little bit of time to think about what she gonna do.
Let me ask you a series.
And hold on, before you do, the complaint was filed June 10th, 6/10/2025 in Erie County. All right, go ahead.
In your time owning a business, Have you ever been levied with charges like these?
Never.
Now, to be clear, I started the whole business owning thing in like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I've had a few. Right? It's just never come up.
Yeah. I mean, I've never even gotten really any complaints. Like complaints, like normal people complaints.
Right.
Versus legal complaints.
I'm just saying that in this specific case, not only are you getting complaints of illegality from employees and former employees, but you're now being literally sued.
Yeah.
You know how many weeks out we are from that initial conversation on Facebook?
Bruh, it was May. I think it was like May 8th.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And now in July, we're still here.
Yeah.
We're still getting the leaks.
Mm-hmm.
We're still getting info. So there is a word for all of this, and it's hubris. There's a certain amount of hubris that someone has that can do wrong this many times and wrong people this amount of times and yet form the lips to talk about respect.
Bruh.
Form the or to point the finger at what people exposing your wrongdoing are doing. How are you any different than Trump,
bruh,
with his bullshit earlier when asked about the Epstein files? And then he went on to try to shut down the conversation. You guys are still talking about that? You know how fucking guilty you sound?
Nigga.
You sound like not only is your name on the list, your name's the only name on the list. That's what you sound like. And in this case, you tried to shut down the conversation. And on top of that, turn the tables on the people exposing you. The problem with you attempting to turn the table on us is that at the Black Culture Geeks podcast, space, time, and positioning does not matter.
Yeah.
So the table upside down looks the same to us as it does right side up, sideways, diagonal. That shit don't work over here.
Yeah. And you know, the thing about all of this is I'm not saying I am who I am, so I'm not gonna say I would not have brought any of this stuff up at all. Mm-hmm. But the sole reason that you guys are a recurring topic on our show still, with my fiance long gone from your clutches, is because you deigned to insult us.
Yes.
Talking about, white companies don't get this.
Oh my god, bro,
and then wanted to talk about 100 black families, and
that's what got us here right now.
That's why we're here right now.
That's why we're here with this.
That's why we on your neck. Like, on top of the fact that you're just doing shitty stuff. Like I said, I would have brought it up to black families, right? To those same 100 black families that you was talking. Yeah, you're doing that.
Yeah.
Like, so to be clear, there is not enough information in this summons and in this suit for me to know when this agreement took place.
Yes.
That they violated or any of that type stuff. So again, always with the benefit of the doubt, it's possible that when she realized that the money was being a little funny, she reached out to this investment fund
to be
like, hey, we need some temporary help to help keep shit going.
It's entirely possible.
One of the problems I have with that though, which means either it didn't happen then, either it happened earlier than that. That's the benefit of the doubt part, or she was being sketchy. Is that the Mays Family Investments thing? That company is not in good standing, and the reason it's not in good standing is because it didn't file its paperwork for 2025 or 2024. It has not filed paperwork since 2023. So for you to include it in this, if it did happen recently, if it happened anytime after the time that you were supposed to file for 2024,
right?
That's shady as fuck. Like, what are we talking about here?
No, SBJ, let me stop you there. Because you see, we're wrong. We cast aspersions about the legitimacy and the honesty about this person, and we are wrong. We were wrong. And we negatively affected 100 Black families.
Yeah. I hate it when we do that.
Listen, bro, I understand that there's a certain amount, there's only a certain amount of stuff that you can actually say because one, a lack of a total picture information. Two, people are very litigious, and those that are like Trump are very litigious. They will do wrong and then sue the person that they did wrong to. That sort of shit, right? But I gotta say that these months now, since that initial conversation, I have been presented with nothing that shows me any actual change in behavior. It's like if there was a bridge, a dam that was holding back water, and all of a sudden it started, spouting holes, and you patch the hole, then another hole come up, and patch a hole, another hole. That's what this shit, at least right now, gives the appearance of.
Yeah.
And has been given the appearance of for the last couple of months.
Yeah. Oh, and the alleged of this is the person who brought it to our attention mentioned that remember Kara said she was going to be more involved on the day-to-day and get right back in the saddle and grab the reins. And apparently they don't know where she at. Apparently, like, she don't be around still. Apparently there was something about a trip to Jamaica and doing this and I told you about the Grand National Tour and
they're not like us.
I don't. So I don't. That's a alleged because I ain't find no proof about that. I mean, I did see the proof about the Grand National Tour, but the other stuff I ain't seen no proof about that. So that's super alleged. But yeah, apparently she didn't come back around.
Listen, man, all the stars are
missing
closer.
Staff meetings
and
nigga. So
look, all the stars are closer. So I don't know.
So exactly. Nothing has really. It appears not much has really changed.
That's the appearance it's given. It's given that.
Yeah. And I mean,
wow.
So again, I say, as we wrap this up, I legitimately hope that whatever steps are necessary for this company to no longer do harm to our communities is the preferred outcome of this scenario.
Agreed.
It's looking more and more like it might be the initial one that I wanted.
Yeah, it does.
But who knows?
What do we know? We're just a bunch of goofy guys doing the podcast.
Right. I don't know shit. Who am I? All right, moving on. Robert Reginald Griffin III.
Yeah, we on your ass, nigga. We on your ass.
Bring that ass here, boy. All right, so
Chrissy said you already read the review.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I used that as my recap of the situation of all of things divine. So RG3. Um,
Can I say something before you dive in that real fast?
Okay.
Just a little preamble, so to speak. Now, I remember I was dating this girl, and she comes from the outskirts of DC. I remember when RG3 was on the Redskins.
Number 3.
I remember the level of
pick.
excitement. Yeah, I remember the level of excitement. He do no wrong.
He was an amazing talent.
He's an amazing talent indeed. I remember just the talk.
Took the league by storm.
Oh, absolutely.
Till he got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember. I remember the positivity. I remember the excitement from said woman I used to date because she was so into the Redskins. The way they talked about RG3 like he was the second coming.
I mean, football wise, had he not been hurt, he would have been.
But see, that's the problem. Because had he been the second coming, when he got hurt, he'd have healed.
Facts.
Fuck. What are we talking about?
You're right. You're right about that. You're right. You're right.
Talking about.
You got that.
Listen. I'll bring that up because there have been several times in my life where I called something, and at the time, but nobody trying to hear that. At the time, I was just jealous. At the time,
that's hilarious.
It's been quite a few times, bro. Quite a few times that when years go by and it turns out that I was right, my petty ass will give a phone call and say, "You remember that? Remember?" Because accountability is the charge of the day. So now that we're here with RG3, I gotta look at my Rolodex to find numbers.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Or Facebook. Post something in the message inbox, something. Because I called this. Remember the sister that wrote the story how Stella got a groove back?
Yeah.
I called that in the moment. When I saw the interview and then saw a dude, I was like, yo, no. And I was told, the problem with you is everybody ain't got to be on that macho thug stuff. You and Dennis rolling around here on that thug stuff. Every man ain't the real man. Okay.
Interesting.
That sounds real good.
Very interesting.
And then the news came out. Oh, then the alimony stuff. And
well, wait. All right. So similar to you, I have a pre-this story as well.
Okay.
Because for those who don't know, I alluded to it. RG3, he went to. So he got drafted by the Redskins. I believe it was number 3 overall. It was definitely early in the first round. The two big quarterbacks that year were him and Andrew Luck. Funny enough, neither one of them did what they were supposed to do, mainly because of injury for both.
Injuries.
Yeah. RG3 actually got his career trajectory permanently altered by the Baltimore Ravens. It was Haloti Nada. It was a scramble out of the backfield. RG3 was running forward. Haloti, pow! And the bottom of the knee went forward. Went forward. And that's
ugly.
That kind of basically ended his current trajectory would have undoubtedly.
So it was Baltimore based.
Yes. So the Baltimore DC rivalry rears its head again, but as well, right? It ended up being the case that he became a bit of a journeyman quarterback, and then Baltimore ended up signing him.
Yeah,
he became a Baltimore Raven. The year that Lamar Jackson was drafted, and in my head, because we had Joe Flacco at the time, and Joe Flacco was very clear that he was not about mentoring a young quarterback. He still felt like he was a starter, and that's what he should focus his energy on. And I wasn't mad about that. Wasn't mad about it. There's a little bit in me, simply because Lamar Jackson was a black man, that was like, oh, that's a little nasty word. But I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Even though far better quarterbacks have been mentors to.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
I still understood the sentiment. I couldn't hate on him for the sentiment.
Right.
But when we got RG3, I'm like, oh, RG3 could like be the perfect person to help Lamar transition into
you
the
would
NFL.
Think.
So I was like, okay, all right, good shit, right? Well, he ended up getting released, and I can't remember if we released him or we just let his contract run out. And I believe he retired immediately after that.
Interesting.
And then he became an analyst for, I believe, ESPN. And well, here we are. An examination of public controversy surrounding Robert Griffin III, a report on perceptions of racial identity and interpersonal relationships. Introduction. The two-front controversy of a public figure. Robert Griffin III, known ubiquitously as RG3, emerged on the national stage as a transcendent football talent. A Heisman Trophy winner whose electrifying play promised to redefine the quarterback position. Yet, from the zenith of his rookie season with the Washington Redskins to his current role as a media analyst, his public life has been shadowed by a persistent and evolving set of controversies.
Indeed.
These disputes
What up, Rebecca?
What up? These disputes playing out across sports talk shows, social media, and news reports have consistently revolved around two central, deeply intertwined themes. A perceived disconnect from the cultural and political realities of the black community, and public actions that have fueled allegations of fetishizing white women. This report seeks to provide an exhaustive and nuanced examination of these controversies. It will move beyond a simple chronological recounting of events to analyze the discourse, identify underlying patterns, and explore the sociological context in which these critiques have flourished.
So, question. Mm-hmm. Don't you find it a bit disrespectful to fetishize really anybody?
Yes, absolutely.
That to me is not. It just seems that that's not about any love of the individual.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But to be fair, that's not to say that there is no love there. But the fetishization is weird. It's
front loaded.
It's something on top of.
It's front loaded,
yeah.
Right? Because in order for you to get into the position where you knew the person enough to love them as a person, it started with the fetishization, right?
Yeah.
That's what it started with. It's very disrespectful.
It's extremely disrespectful. So. Where we at? He blah 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 blah. Okay, instead, Oh no! The central thesis of this analysis is that the two primary criticisms levies against him, racial inauthenticity and problematic preference in his romantic relationships, are not disparate issues. Instead, they are mutually reinforcing phenomena in the public consciousness, where his commentary on racial matters is interpreted through the lens of his personal life, and his personal life is used to disqualify his racial commentary. He has become a case study in the immense pressures placed on black male celebrities to navigate the complex and often contradictory expectations of racial solidarity, personal choice, and public representation in a hyper mediated age. The controversies are not just about him. They're about the unresolved questions the black community and the wider public have about identity, loyalty, and the politics of love and race. To provide a macro level context for the detailed analysis that follows, the table below, I'm not going to read the table because we're going to get to all those. Part 1, a question of allegiance, RG3 and the perceptions within the black community. This section of the report will meticulously document and analyze the specific incidents where Robert Griffin III's actions and statements have been perceived by critics, particularly within the black community, as being naive, out of touch, or actively detrimental to black interests. The quote unquote cornball brother moment, the genesis of a narrative, 2012. The foundational controversy that has framed nearly all subsequent discussions of Robert Griffin III's racial identity erupted in December 2012. This moment did more than create a fleeting media firestorm. It established a durable public narrative of racial inauthenticity, creating a critical lens through which his actions would be scrutinized for over a decade. The catalyst was Griffin's own articulation of his identity. In interviews, he expressed a desire to be seen beyond the confines of race, stating he did not want to be defined as an African American quarterback. This perspective was rooted in his upbringing. His mother, Jacqueline, noted that she and her husband, both U.S. Army sergeants, raised their children not to see color, and that race doesn't have a big part in my self-identity. While I intended as a unifying post-racial message, it was the very sentiment that provided the opening for public critique. That's hilarious because two of the, we're going to get to the specifics of it, but two of the articles that went up this week on the Substack, the Black Culture Geek Substack, address this. One of them is colorblindness. The other one is specifically RG3. So this is, but anyway.
It's really interesting.
It's funny how that works out.
It is.
On ESPN's First Take, commentator Rob Parker seized on these statements to pose a now infamous question. Quote, is he a brother or is he a cornball brother? Parker, who is also black, proceeded to lay out a set of criteria by which he was questioning Griffin's authentic blackness. These included the fact that Griffin had a white fiancée, Rebecca Litticoat, that there were unsubstantiated talk about he's a Republican, and general sense that Griffin was, quote, not really down with the cause, or, quote, one of us. Parker even drew a parallel to Tiger Woods, another black athlete who has faced scrutiny for his public management of his multiracial identity. The discussion was a stark example of intra-community policing of racial identity, where personal life choices were presented as evidence of a political or cultural failing. The fallout was immediate and widespread. Fellow panelist Stephen A. Smith expressed his discomfort on air, stating, quote, RG3, the ethnicity or the color of his fiancée is none of our business. It's irrelevant. I don't judge someone's blackness based on those kinds of things, end quote. ESPN quickly condemned Parker's comments as inappropriate and suspended him, ultimately allowing his contract to expire. Many commentators defended Griffin as the stand-up young man and an ideal role model, being unfairly boxed in by antiquated viewpoints. Griffin himself remained above the fray, issuing no direct response other than a tweet thanking his supporters. Now, the reason that that's important is because a lot of people with what RG3 did this week have been posting Rob Parker was right. So, mind you, this is 13 years ago.
Yeah. Again, this is his, I said that back then moment.
Right.
I just got to say that one of the things that annoys me to no end, it is the constant, nonstop gaslighting of the African American community in America.
Mm-hmm.
We are treated as if we don't understand our own intra-group dynamics. Like we live, for the most part, live amongst ourselves. Like even in communities that are somewhat of a mix, I've only lived around other groups when I was an adult, and I'm talking 40s, late 30s, 40s, right? And even in those areas, it was majority black. Like some stuff about our in-group dynamics, we know because we're there.
Yeah.
From childhood to they carry us the fuck up out of here. We're there. We see it. We interact with it. And I find the commentary from people who aren't there, thinking they know us, and know our in-group dynamics when you're not there. But then gaslight us like they know better than we do.
That part.
We fucking know. We're there. We watch the behavior, and more importantly, we watch the effect.
That part. You could just shut up and listen.
That's it.
You could just shut up and listen. We happen to be the experts in this particular situation.
Right.
So, however, the damage to his public perception was done. The Rob Parker incident was not merely a debate. It codified a public authenticity test for Griffin. From that point forward, his personal choices, political leanings, and public statements would be permanently measured against a set of unwritten and often contradictory rules for black public figures. The direct line from this 2012 event to later controversies is undeniable. Over a decade later, in 2025, fellow analyst Ryan Clark would deploy the same exact logic, citing Griffin's 2 marriages to white women as evidence that he lacks the necessary perspective to comment on the struggles of black women. The language and the underlying premise that proximity to whiteness is in one's personal life disqualifies one's black perspective remained identical. The framework established by Parker in 2012 provided the blueprint for the critique Clark would level in 2025. Furthermore, this episode highlighted what can be termed the colorblind paradox. Griffin's stated ideology of not seeing color, which he and his family presented as a positive and unifying value, was interpreted by his critics as a naive and privileged disavowal of the political realities of being black in America. This created a fundamental and recurring disconnect. His attempts at universalism have been consistently received by a segment of his audience as a form of racial erasure. This pattern would resurface years later in his commentary on Jackie Robinson, demonstrating a persistent misalignment between his intended message and his public reception, rooted in differing worldviews on the role of race in American society. I know I said what I said, but I want to stop a second and read this part from one of these articles that we just put up, because obviously this report is trying to be as unbiased as possible.
Yes.
I'm not. So let me read this part from this daggone article. Let me see. All right. So the problem with colorblind in the article's instance, it's about storytelling. It's about narrative TV shows and all that type of stuff. But the sentiment still applies. The problem with colorblind storytelling, my initial reaction was to be furious at the show's creator, but that feeling has since turned to disappointment. Rhimes famously employs colorblind writing and casting, which has undoubtedly had benefits, securing roles for several black actors who might not have gotten them otherwise.
Right.
Her casting director, Linda Lowy, noted, quote, "When I cast the pilot of Grays, Shonda didn't give anybody a last name. She just said, 'Linda, I want you to cast it the way you see the world,' end quote. While the intention can be well-meaning, color blindness in a social context often ends up as a fancy word for erasure. The underlying idea becomes, quote, 'I'm going to ignore what's unique about you so that I can tolerate your existence,' end quote, with the ultimate goal being homogeneity. In any scenario where different cultures mix, the goal should be understanding and acceptance of those differences, not ignorance of them."
Agreed.
So I got to point that out because, again, this report is trying to be as unbiased as possible, which I appreciate. I get it.
I mean, sure.
But that ain't us.
No, it ain't for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Like the colorblind thing.
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
the reason why it hits some people who may be well-meaning a certain type of way, well, why don't we want this? Is because it conflates two different things.
That part.
It conflates the idea that I'm gonna treat you how you treat me,
Yeah,
regardless of what you look like, with the idea that in this society there aren't specific things that happen to you because you look a certain type of way, and they need to be addressed, not ignored. Because when you do that, you tend to erase somebody's experience, and it just basically it's a form, like you said, of erasure, right?
Yeah.
So they conflate these two ideas that just because I'm going to treat you the way you treat me, regardless of your race, that doesn't mean that if I see somebody doing something to you, and I know it's specifically because you look the way you look or you are who you are, that can't be addressed or talked about, which is why when I heard Morgan Freeman say that goofy ass shit, and I saw a lot of people in the atheist skeptic community parroting that shit at the time, and I was like, geez, y'all need more representatives of us up in this motherfucker. Because when he said the way to stop racism is stop talking about it.
What?
And they ran with it. You know why they ran with it? They ran with it because it sounds good to us.
It's idealism. It's idealism, and it makes them comfortable.
Yeah,
that is the reason for these things.
Because for obvious reasons, nobody wants to hear the descendants of this nation's slave caste talk about what happened to their families.
That part. Clear.
That's it. It's clear. There's a discomfort in hearing the slave caste descendants talk about what happened to their family, because the cognitive dissonance is land of the free.
Right.
But you had slaves.
Right.
Land of the free. The slaves.
That part.
But we.
Slaves.
That's the cognitive dissonance. It hurt. It hurt me.
Absolutely.
Because it was my family.
Right.
It hurt.
Right. So, the analyst chair. Commentary on Angel Reese and fueling a racial narrative. After his playing career, Robert Griffin III transitioned into a role as a sports analyst, where his public commentary ignited the most significant and revealing controversies of his career. His analysis of the WNBA, particularly the rivalry between black player Angel Reese and white player Caitlin Clark, was widely seen not as objective sports commentary, but as an active validation of harmful media tropes against black women, crystallizing years of simmering criticism into a full-blown public feud. The controversy began in May 2025 when Griffin used his prominent social media platform to insistently claim that Reese hates Clark. Following an on-court interaction, he tweeted, "I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese hates," with all caps. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Stop. How?
Yeah, shut up.
How?
Shut up. Shut up.
How do you? You are missing it. It's right in front of your face.
I know what hatred looks like. Angel Reese, all caps, hates Caitlin Clark. Not some basketball rivalry hate either. Hate. Critics immediately labeled this take as wildly irresponsible, arguing it was
that he knows what it looks like.
Nigga. Wildly irresponsible, arguing it was low-hanging clickbait that fed into pre-existing racially charged media dynamic
that part
that often cast Reese as the aggressive villain to Clark's heroic protagonist.
Instead
of backing down, Griffin doubled down with a lengthy video elaborating on his claim. This commentary sparked an explosive public feud with fellow analyst and former NFL teammate Ryan Clark. Clark's central accusation delivered on his podcast, The Pivot, was that Griffin's analysis was fundamentally flawed because he is not educated on what black women deal with. Clark directly linked his perceived lack of understanding to Griffin's personal life, stating, "You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women." Clark argued that Griffin was actively contributing to a negative narrative that villainized Reese. Griffin's response was not to engage with the substance of Clark's critique, but to reframe it as a personal attack. He called Clark's comments cowardly, spineless, and weak, and accused him of crossing a line by bringing his family into a sports debate. This rhetorical move, pivoting from accountability for his public commentary to claiming victimization over a perceived slight to his private life, is a recurring pattern. Clark later,
with somebody else.
Nigga. Clark later issued a carefully worded apology, not for the substance of his point about perspective, but for the method of using Griffin's wife as the illustration for it, a nuance that underscored his continued belief in the core argument.
My beef with that, though, we can't have these conversations unless we have these conversations.
Facts. Yeah. Because here's the thing. The presence of a fetish is often indicative in some type of disdain for the other.
Mm-hmm.
So the issue that Ryan was pointing out was not that RG3 had a white wife. That was not the issue. That was not the point that he was making.
Right.
The point that he was making is you fetishize white women. With all these comments on his Twitter about milk and all that other shit, like, that was the point.
Yeah.
And then RG3 spun it as an attack on his wife.
Well,
Ryan
that's part of the playbook.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan in the interview, in the podcast segment, specifically said, "Your wife's a good person. I've met your wife. I've had conversations with your wife. She is a good person. This is not about her." He specifically said that.
Yeah.
So that's my reason that I didn't like that he apologized. Is because it's like how I've evolved over time. I'm not trying to. My argument is neither a good faith argument or a bad faith argument. My argument is what my argument is, and there are parts that will appeal to those who want to respond in good faith.
Exactly.
And then there are parts that will appeal to those who don't want to respond in good faith.
Right.
And I'm not apologizing to you or holding your hand through or for those purposes.
I might hold your hand with a napkin between us because you're giving me the ick right now.
Because like this is like no, that's not what was happening. It's not like
he wanted to obfuscate.
The
core point of what he was saying is you don't spend. How much daily time do you spend with some black women for you to sit there and act like you're an authority?
That point.
Because please be aware of the fact that when it comes to socialization, it does depend on your environment.
Yes.
And who's teaching you.
100%.
That's not a controversial statement.
Yeah.
Like literally, if you're not raised around a certain environment, you're gonna have scant knowledge of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the knowledge you do have is going to be surface level, and there's always some deeper information about that can be gleaned by putting yourself in that environment, right? If you never put yourself in that environment, you making comments on how somebody feels about somebody else when you don't know that person and making it about something that it's not, which it looks like a healthy competition that the press spun out of whack because it's a great story. You got the angry black woman over here, and you got the savior of the WNBA over here. The media loves that story, and they're gonna run with it. And when I say the media, it's not just legacy media. I'm talking about you bottom feeder motherfuckers. Guys that don't have any journalistic training at all at any point. But you picked up a camera, you picked up a mic, and you got a couple pieces of software, and you decided you was going to make a YouTube channel, and it got big.
Right.
And because you're influential, it gave you credibility in that space, not because you had any particular set of skills that you developed through training and all that other stuff. No. But a lot of y'all, because you're part of the attention economy, love the salacious shit because you know it brings people to your shit. You watch it all the time on YouTube. Go look at some of these, even in the political space. Go look at some of these thumbnails. Look at some of the thumbnails. Some of these topics are very important topics, right? And yet I've seen people, and it doesn't matter. That's the other thing too. Don't really matter which side of the political fence you're on with this. I've seen both of you motherfuckers do the shit. They will literally have a picture of the person they're going to be talking about in this video on there. And then they'll have some words next to it that person didn't say.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll put that shit up there. Why? Because they're trying to attract views. That's the bottom feeding shit I'm talking about right there. Because if any newspaper or cable news did a headline, like some of the thumbnails and the titles of your fucking videos I be seeing, they get sued.
Right.
Somebody somewhere would sue them. I didn't say that, so why did he put this picture up here as if I said that?
That part.
Bottom feeders. They love that fucking story about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. They love it. They love it. It has all the hallmarks of stuff that's going to drive engagement to their little funky sports channel.
Right. All right. So the dynamic culminated in the July 2025 incident involving a racist meme.
McKenna.
What up, McKenna?
You picking Cindy up from the airport? Nice.
The dynamic culminated in the July 2025 incident involving a racist meme that depicted Angel Reese as a monkey on a video game cover. Griffin posted a tweet that began by condemning the image as unacceptable and stating,
"Thanks.
There is no place for racism in this world." However, in the very same post, he pivoted to his own grievances. He claimed he had been, quote, quiet on the Angel Reese front because she had previously shared a video, Ryan Clark's video, that led to death threats against his family. He then reiterated his, quote, hate narrative, claiming that, quote, people in Angel's inner circle called me and told me I was right. The reaction was swift and furious.
Lies.
Reese and her mother publicly accused him of lying for clout. Ryan Clark blasted him for making himself both the victim and the hero of this story, arguing that a simple condemnation of racism was subverted for personal score settling and self-aggrandizement.
Nobody in her inner circle called this nigga.
There's no way.
Anything. There's
Get
the fuck out of here.
It didn't happen.
Your character's in question, boy.
Nigga.
Your character's in question.
Critics argued that by amplifying the rumor about Reese while ostensibly fighting racism, he was contributing to the very online hate he claimed to decry. Clark concluded, Ryan Clark, if you never support the people that look like you, you are also part of the problem. So, to be clear about this damn post, right? Because a lot of people are coming across it without the full context of what the post is. Not even the past, not even RG3's history, just what the post itself is. Like, you don't need to know anything else about his past to understand if you get the full context of this, it's a problem.
Absolutely.
So, first of all, number one, he shared the fucking image.
Which, by the way, from what I heard, that image didn't get much engagement until he shared it.
I'm going to go into that. So, like I said, first of all, he posted the image. We got on here for several weeks and talked about Divine Counseling LLC. Right? What I did not do is give an address.
Right.
I didn't give like any secret information that I may have acquired. I had people reaching out to me, giving me information. I did not do any of that publicly. No, because that's not helpful.
And it's
so
goofy.
You can talk about the issue without expanding upon what the issue is, expanding the reach of the issue. Like people hadn't even heard about this before. So RG3 has.
So he used that. That's
Bro. RG3 has 2 million followers, right?
Boy, your character's in question.
The article, the person who shared the meme that he didn't quote tweet it. He did a screenshot, but the person who shared it, the screenshot, that person has 60 followers.
See, this is the shit.
That person has 60 followers.
That's the shit I be talking
60,
about, bro.
60. And it's funny because the reason I looked, no, 60.
Oh.
The reason I looked is because when Ryan Clark commented on it, he mentioned that the guy had 200 followers. No, not even. Not even 200 followers. Like, this motherfucker has currently. Shit. So, who knows how many followers he had before this? Currently, the motherfucker got 60 followers. Let me read you some of the other shit that's on this motherfucker's page. Women belong in the kitchen anyway, so I won't be responding to the WNBA anymore since they DMCA'd me.
Wow.
My account got locked because someone filed a DMCA against me, even though the meme in question was done in parody. Looks like someone's in their feelings. I'd like to thank my nigga RG3 for being a true boss. I'm glad he called out Angel Reese and put her monkey ass in her place.
In her place. That's great right there.
Where we
at? Good stuff.
He posted AI generated image of RG3 standing up in a victory pose in a boxing ring with Angel Reese laying on the floor.
So, it's great. Man on woman violence.
Yeah, this is the person
awesome.
who you essentially platformed.
Yeah,
right. And to be fair, it didn't blow up the way it could have, like this person's profile.
Yes,
because again, still only 60 followers. But what you did do is expose this image to so many more people who would have never seen
that
this
shit.
post.
Who would have never seen it.
Let me see. This post has where we at?
Maybe 200 people that saw that at the most.
I don't even know if it was that much. But RG3's post has 8.6 million views.
Of course it does.
Do you understand how many levels of magnitude you have to go to get from 60 to 8.6 million?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? So that's number one. The most egregious part of his post is he shared the fucking image. There was no reason for you to share
to share that.
There have been several things that we've talked about on this goddamn show where I'm like, I'm not going to go in detail about that. Or there's image or video, or I just played the audio.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? That's just responsible journalism. Like, what are you?
See, and that's that's what I'm saying right there.
Right. So there's that, right? But then also, all right, this has got to stop. There's no place for racism in this world. All right, hold on. Let me do this with emphasis. All right, period. This has got to stop. Period. There's no place for racism in this world. Period. Whether you like a player or
before
not.
You continue that, obviously there's plenty of space for it.
Well, listen. Whether you like a player or not, period. I don't. Okay. Sure, whatever. We'll let it rock. No, we'll let it rock. Whether you like a player or not, period. Angel Reese should never be called or depicted as a monkey. Period. End of post.
That should have been the end of it.
End of post. There's no reason to go any further. His very next, that is, let me read you the shortest paragraphs in this post. Okay? The shortest paragraphs. That first one is the longest of the short paragraphs. Another one, stop it. Another one, if you hate Angel Reese because she's black, you're the problem. Another one, if you hate Angel Reese because you are a Caitlin Clark fan, don't turn it racial. Another one, there should be no space for racism in this world.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Hold up. What was that other one? He said, if you
hate Angel Reese because you're a Caitlin Clark fan, don't turn it racial. We will get to that. Want me to read you the longer paragraphs? Paragraph 2. I have been quiet on the Angel Reese front because she shared a video that aided in my wife, kids, family, and friends receiving death threats. Threats of physical harm to my family and friends, and threats of sexual violence to my children on social media and beyond. Now, if you read
Same
that,
shit's happened to Angel Reese.
if you read that paragraph on its own, and were asked to give what you think the context of the post was,
it had to be something super egregious.
the very last thing you would ever think is that it was a defense post for Angel Reese.
Right.
He didn't even do the justice of giving the caveat. He didn't even say, even though, or anything like that. He didn't even do that.
He used that to go into the diatribe that part.
Very next paragraph. That will never be okay with me. I never attacked her or her family when I stated and backed up with clear basketball evidence that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. It's sports. Everybody won't like each other.
How do you back that up with basketball evidence?
You can't. Then, next paragraph. People in Angel's inner circle called me and told me I was right. And Angel Reese has grown to hate Caitlin Clark because of the media always asking her about Caitlin and being constantly compared to her. That didn't happen.
No, you're lying. You're lying.
And it was not just it didn't happen, right? And we can say it didn't happen because Angel's mother came out and Angel has come out and said, this is bullshit.
But her inner circle, somebody in her inner circle went and told the guy that's been on her neck.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm going to tell you right now about my inner circle. My inner circle, if they hear you say something crazy about me, it's up. It's up. So I don't know what the... Come on, bro. Come on. Really?
So...
Really?
Like I said, not only has it been refuted by the source, but it just doesn't make sense. It's not a credible claim.
It's not, bro.
Like, what?
Your best friend came and told me, get the fuck, nigga.
So some people made it about race, but I never did and never will. Instead of becoming the villain in anyone's story, I decided to just not. So let me translate. Right? All right. The racism, guys, it's kind of bad. Don't do the racism. Angel didn't deserve to be called a monkey. Now, Angel did indirectly cause death threats to my family and everything. And, that won't be ever okay with me. Like, I just proved what her feelings were with video evidence of the basketball
facts.
Yeah, I just proved what her feelings were. And then on top of that, her best friend called me and told me I was right. Like, what are you guys doing? I'm right.
This is one of the problems right here.
Hey, I'm right.
We understand.
I'm right about,
we understand that.
I'm right about what I said. Her friend.
We understand.
Oh, okay.
But this is the problem also with you motherfuckers not knowing what a fact is.
That part.
This is the problem with you motherfuckers not knowing what a fact is.
I also want to say, I don't know how to say what I'm about to say, so I'm just going to let the words come out. There are way too many people who have way too much of an interest in things that happen in court and way too little knowledge about things that happen in court.
Agreed.
Because you think, because like in court, there is a way to prove intent for legal purposes.
Yes.
Prove intent for legal purposes.
Yep.
But that's for legal purposes.
Yeah.
And the court isn't necessarily about what is absolute truth. It is about behavior in relation to a social contract that we are all under.
Right.
Which are very different things.
Yeah.
They're two very, very, very different things.
I just want y'all to stop saying facts.
Yeah.
Like ever. Never even say, don't even allude to it. The definition of it, don't even say it.
Yeah.
Like synonyms, none of that. Because y'all don't know. And to be clear, just earlier this week, this is the reason why there's a reason why I feel about this the way I do. So, a friend of mine posts all RG3, to your point, by the way, All RG3 had to do was denounce the hate and condemn the racism.
That's it.
That was it.
That's it.
Should have been easy. Instead, he decided to make it about him and his obsession with making Angel Reese the villain in Caitlin Clark's story. There is a reason he gets labeled a coon and a cornball. He'd have been better off not saying shit. And my response was like, people often ask me why I'm rather unforgiving in these situations. The answer is simple. The world didn't start today. We have had ample examples of coonery. It's been studied, written about, commented on, shown in movies, TV, and print media. So we all should know by now how toxic and vile it is, it looks and feels, how undermining and demeaning it is to the person doing it and the person defending it, and how utterly destructive it is when influential people use their whole melanated faces to push and promote it. There are no more excuses in 2025. If you're doing your best Steven from Django impersonation at this stage of the game, I renounce and disavow you. Because there's no excuse for it. We've seen it. We've seen Malcolm. Yo, Spike Lee made the Malcolm X movie win. Stop, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Facts.
Like, I'm not giving. That's why when people ask me about certain celebrities that done that coon shit, and ask me, but they're so good at doing this. I don't give a.
Yeah, sure they are.
That's I don't give a shit about. Yeah. All right, check this out. If a motherfucker come to me after they did something egregious, and I'm telling you about the egregious shit they did, showing you this egregious shit, and you say to me, but he ties his shoes so well. Yeah, get out of my face.
Facts.
Get out of my face. It's not what I'm talking about. I don't care about that.
No.
I'm talking about this motherfucker here.
It has no bearing.
Shit that they did. It has no bearing. So just because he can do a nice backflip or a profile over a gate, I'm supposed to forget about the other dumb shit he did?
Nah. It's not.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
It's not. Leave me alone with
that. Facts. Miss me.
All right. This sequence reveals a consistent rhetorical strategy from Griffin. The weaponization of victimhood. When faced with substantive criticism regarding his professional analysis and its racial implications, he consistently repositions himself as the victim of an unfair personal attack on his family. This tactic serves to deflect from the core critique and reframe the debate around personal boundaries rather than public accountability, effectively derailing the original conversation. Yeah. Inconsistent signals, navigating politics, history, and activism. The perception of Robert Griffin III's disconnect from the Black community is further complicated by what critics view as a pattern of inconsistent and contradictory public stances on issues of race, politics, and history. This has led to accusations that his engagement with his own identity is selective and opportunistic. A stark example occurred in January 2024 when Griffith reacted to a discussion about diversity, equity, and inclusion policies by claiming that Jackie Robinson breaking baseball's color barrier was not inherently political. This take was met with immediate and forceful backlash from prominent Black media figures like Stephen A. Smith and Jamel Hill, who dismantled the argument as ahistorical and profoundly naive. Critics argued that to depoliticize Robinson's achievement is to erase the very system of racist segregation he courageously fought against, a struggle that was political by its very nature. In the face of this criticism, Griffin fell back on familiar pattern, releasing a lengthy statement claiming his words were misunderstood and that the timing wasn't right for my nuanced take. This incident stands in jarring juxtaposition to his commentary in June 2020 during the global protests following the murder of George Floyd. At that time, Griffin was an eloquent and forceful advocate for racial justice. He spoke of the need to condemn racism and the systematic oppression of Black people, and stated he felt obligated to use his platform for change. Mind you, for reference, I believe he was still with the Ravens or just got let go at this time. So
your ass was still living in Black City. Listen,
that point. He challenged his white teammates. Okay, he was still on the Ravens. I guess. Yeah, he challenged his white teammates to be on the right side of history, framing the issue not as a Black-white issue, but as one of human decency.
And this is my issue.
That's the issue. He always comes back here. These statements were widely praised and seen as powerful use of his celebrity. However, this perceived inconsistency is further compounded by other missteps. In December 2022, while on air for ESPN's Monday Night Countdown, Griffin used the archaic and deeply offensive racial slur jigaboos when praising Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. He quickly apologized, claiming it was an accident.
How did he use that?
I don't know. I don't remember this one. Hold on, let me see if there is a source. ESPN's Robert Griffin III uses highly racist term on air, says it was an accident, referring to Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. His exact words were, "I think proved all those jigaboos wrong."
Wow. Yeah. Oh, bro, listen. You never beaten that charge.
Nigga.
Bro, you never beaten that charge. I don't care what happens. You're never beating that charge.
Hold up. Okay, he quickly apologized, claiming it was an accident and that he misunderstood the term's meaning. While perhaps unintentional, wait. While perhaps unintentional, the incident was seized upon by critics as yet another piece of evidence demonstrating a careless disconnect from the language and history of the community he represents. Taken together, these events create the perception of what might be called an a la carte approach to blackness. Critics argue that Griffin appears to embrace his black identity when it aligns with mainstream institutionally sanctioned activism, as seen during the 2020 Black Lives Matter wave when the NFL itself was issuing supportive statements. However, when confronted with more complex, politically charged, or historical dimensions of the black experience, such as the political nature of the civil rights movement or the nuances of racialized media tropes, his commentary is seen as falling short. He is perceived
Ray Lewis that shit, yo.
That's
what he did. He Ray Lewis that shit.
He is perceived as picking the parts of his identity he is comfortable with while discarding or misunderstanding the parts that require deeper historical knowledge or unwavering communal support. This selective engagement reinforces the cornball brother narrative of inauthenticity that has followed him since the beginning of his career. Part 2. A question of preference, examining the fetishization claim. The second major front of public controversy surrounding RG3 directly addresses the claim. What up? Directly addresses the claim that he fetishizes white women. This accusation is not merely an observation of his marital choices, but a complex critique of his public rhetoric and behavior, which are perceived by some as elevating his white partners at the expense of black women.
And elevating them not because he sees her as a great person, because that's fine.
No, not as an individual.
Elevating her because she happens to be white.
That part. The foundation upon which the I hate this word. Fetishization claims are built is Griffin's public relationship history. It's a factual matter that his first wife, Rebecca Lidecote, and his current wife, Griffin, Grote?
Bro, don't
Groot? I am Groot. Are both white women. While interracial marriage is common, the scrutiny of Griffin's choices has been intensified by the public and contentious nature of his transition from his first marriage to his second.
That's really it.
It's a bunch of stuff.
Listen, yes, you're going to have a few people that's going to have a problem with it one way or the other, right?
Sure.
But overall, no one's going to give a fuck but until you put it into the context of all the other things that you have said, all the other statements you have made. And for the record, another reason we don't want people like you speaking on us this way is because you're undereducated about us, and you're supposed to be part of the same community, but you're not really, and you don't know much about the history, the struggle, none of that. You know all of the very thin layers of the surface shit about the civil rights struggle, the surface shit about integration, the surface shit about all of that. And you speak as somebody who doesn't have an intimate knowledge of these things. So you are not a good representation of these things. Correct. And we don't want you speaking on our behalf.
That part. If you just shut up about racial the biggest issue is, if I'm being the most charitable, he doesn't have a solid grasp on what is a racial issue and what is not a racial issue.
That's it, bro.
That's if I'm being the most charitable. That's if
it.
I'm saying he's not the piece of shit that is doing this intentionally.
No,
because I don't believe he's doing all of it intentional. Right.
You can be both.
Right.
You can be
I don't believe he's doing all of it intentionally. But it's clear that your parents failed you. I'm just going to throw it out there.
But they did, though. But they really did, though.
Your parents
really
failed
did,
you.
though.
They
really did.
Now this is conjecture. It appears that in an effort, because they are aware, because they couldn't not be because of how old they are. Exactly. They are aware of all of the struggles and all of the things that have happened with Black people, and they sought out to, above everything else, give you a better life. And in doing that, it appears that they shielded you from certain things that you should not have been shielded from. It's like letting babies play in dirt, right? There is a benefit to allowing babies to interact with certain germs when they're young.
Yes.
It helps with the immune system. If you have a parent that's going to try to protect the baby from all germs and all, that baby's going to have problems later on.
Yes.
It's just what it is. It's just that simple.
But the other thing about that too is, and I'm speaking directly to his parents, how dare you?
Facts.
You're not protecting your child by bringing them into a fantasy world and telling them that the world is this way when it's not. I made it a point to make sure my kids understood the things that can happen to you in any environment.
That part.
Because I wanted them to be aware and keep their head on a swivel.
Right.
You telling your child some fantasy bullshit about a world that does not exist.
Right.
Does not protect your child in any way, shape, or form, specifically if you happen to be an African-American child.
Right.
There are certain things they need to understand going in could happen to them that wouldn't necessarily happen to other people.
Yep. The whole story matters.
The whole story matters.
All of it.
And you can absolutely teach them the world we want.
Yes.
Is blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
But the world we currently have is blah, 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 blah.
That part. So in 2016, reports surfaced of his impending divorce from Lydecote. Initial reports from TMZ suggested his wife was blindsided by the development, a claim the outlet later softened. The story gained traction because Griffin was seen publicly with Sadeko, which is his current wife, very soon after the separation. Very soon after the separation was announced, and he notably had her name tattooed on his arm, a move seen as a very public declaration of his new relationship. Griffin took to social media to deny any home wrecking or cheating, but rumors and public accusations persisted, with some Reddit users alleging he had cheated on and left his wife shortly after she gave birth to their child. This messy public timeline created a narrative of him leaving one white woman for another, setting the stage for more pointed critiques of his preferences. The rhetoric of milk. This is the most glaring part for me. McKenna said, honestly, I would argue it's worse. Like anti-vaxxer parents, you trying to protect your child not only led to him being weaker as an adult, but now he's pushing bad facts. All facts. Absolutely. Here goes the milk stuff. The accusation of fetishization escalated from an observation of Griffin's partners to an analysis of his specific language and behavior. The critique is not simply that he is married to a white woman, but that his public performance of this preference is viewed as being predicated on the implication of the denigration of Black women. This critique was most vividly articulated by Ryan Clark, who brought to wide public attention the allegation that Griffin makes, quote, corny jokes about milk, and constantly references his wife's whiteness in a way that is seen as obsessive. Clark claimed he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special. The sentiment is echoed in online forums where users have referred to, quote, snow bunny mind control and argued that black men in interracial relationships sometimes have to criticize black people in favor of their significant other. Griffin's own social media presence is often cited as evidence. He and his wife maintain a joint TikTok account, which frequently features hashtags like interracial marriage and Estonian and posts celebrating their interracial love to critics. Now, I want to point out a contradiction real quick. If you're colorblind and you don't see color, why are you promoting interracial? Because that would imply that you see color. That doesn't work out. That circle doesn't square. So, to critics, this is not simply a celebration of their family, but a performative act of making interracial dating a central part of his public identity, which they find suspect. His public praise for his wife, while seemingly positive, is interpreted through this critical lens. When he wrote on Instagram that his wife Greet was his hero and a certified baller, or when he stated on TikTok, quote, every single day I get to see the glow of my wife's inner beauty, these statements are not seen in a vacuum. For those who subscribe to the milk critique, this praise is inextricably linked to her race and is part of a pattern of elevation. Griffin has directly addressed these accusations. In a TikTok video responding to Ryan Clark, he stated, quote, he suggested I don't value my wife as the woman I love, but only value her because of the color of her skin. That's wrong and way out of bounds. So he didn't actually address what Ryan Clark said. He asserted that his support for people was based on the content of their character, a defense that aligns with his long-held colorblind ideology. The core of the fetish... I wish we were playing a drinking game. Drink a drink every time the word fetishization comes up. The core of the fetishization accusation, therefore, is the perceived link between his preference and the denigration of others. The two primary controversies of Griffin's public life converge here. Ryan Clark's argument was not just that Griffin has white wives, but that this leads him to publicly attack a black woman like Angel Reese. Clark stated that some black men who marry outside their race, quote, always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married by denigrating black women. In this view, Griffin's effusive praise for his wife and his harsh criticism of Angel Reese are two sides of the same coin. This connects the critique of his commentary in part 1 to the critique of his relationships in part 2, forming a single unified theory of his behavior. This is intensified by what critics call the prop optics. A recurring point of criticism is that Griffin uses his white wife as a visual aid to validate his controversial racial takes.
Nigga, I laughed every time you tried to say fetish.
Nigga. Yeah, I tried to say,
never mind.
Oh, okay.
No, but I understand, right? I got them damn breaking news. Breaking news. Okay. I do have those Hawaiian loaf pretzel bites upstairs.
Yeah. Oh, you got them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Make some noise. We're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna talk about that later. Right. So this is I read that part. Okay. Ryan Clark explicitly stated he quote, did not love the optics of RG3, a black man attacking and insulting a black woman with his white wife in the background almost as a prop. This was visually documented in multiple reports on Griffin's video criticizing Reese, which noted his wife was, quote, sitting in the background. This act transforms his wife from a private partner into a public symbol in his racial discourse. Her presence is interpreted as a silent cosign of his anti-Reese stance, effectively telling the audience, look at my beautiful white wife who validates my criticism of this black woman. This public usage of his wife makes the critique of his marriage and the critique of his commentary inseparable, fueling the fetishization narrative by linking his preference directly to his public antagonism towards a prominent black woman. Conclusion.
And why is that your...
Go ahead.
All of us have an arch nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the system. Sometimes it's an actual person. Nigga, why did you make a black woman your arch nemesis on the internet?
That part.
That's insane. Listen,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that they're above criticism. Because while I wouldn't call her my arch nemesis, I don't rock with no fucking Candace Owens.
That part.
But I haven't made her so much part of my distaste for her has not become a big part of my fucking online persona. Fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. I just I don't know. I couldn't be me. While we have talked about Divine 2,000 times on the show.
Where?
I would never call Kara my arch nemesis. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm doing this in service of these 100 black families that she talked about. Conclusion: the unresolved case of. I can't stand oh, sorry. So, in conclusion, the unresolved case of RG3. The public career of RG3 presents a compelling and complex case study of the intersection of race, celebrity, and media in the 21st century. An analysis of the controversies that have marked his journey from star athlete to media personality reveals a consistent and coherent, albeit deeply critical, public narrative. The narrative is built upon two interconnected pillars: the perception that he is racially inauthentic and disconnected from the black community, and the accusation that he fetishizes white women. Yeah, I think it flowed that time. Okay. Often at the expense of black women. The Cornball Brother label applied early in his career proved to be remarkably durable, creating an authenticity test that has framed the interpretation of his subsequent actions for more than a decade. His espoused colorblind ideology, intended as a message of unity, has been consistently interpreted by critics as a naive or willful disavowal of the structural realities of race in America. This fundamental disconnect has led to a series of public missteps, from his ahistorical commentary on Jackie Robinson to his racially charged analysis of the Angel Reese-Caitlin Clark dynamic. In each instance, his attempts to position himself as an objective or universal voice have been met with accusations of either ignorance or betrayal.
That's the part. People like him try to position themselves to be the fair. They're the fair. I happen to be the fair one here in this conversation. I am the middle of the road guy here in this conversation. I am the one with no axe to grind here. Motherfucker, you don't even understand how conditioned people are living in any society with the narratives that are prevalent in that society. For you to sit here and say, hey man, I don't have a dog really in the fight. I'm just trying to be fair. Bullshit. All of us got a dog in the fight. You was raised in this society. There are certain narratives and this is the other part too. So it's one thing to recognize the system isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't treat everybody the same. You know what a greater awareness is, though? To understand that part of the system is the narratives we accept and how they are weaponized against different groups. That's also part of the system. And I know it's something hard to put your hand around, right? Because systems, you can look at laws, policies, things of this nature, and point at that and say, because of this policy, because of the actions that took place, because of this law here, that's why these people are in this situation for as long as they've been in this situation. That's a lot easier than dissecting the things you believe about those people.
Right.
The things that the system utilized, basically propaganda, about those groups that you've accepted to be true over the years. Changing laws is hard enough, but it's at least easier than this part. It's easier than this part because these things have become so ingrained in the way we see reality that sometimes we don't even think about the shit and it comes out, and we don't think about it until after we say it or after we engaged in it. And that's only if we're thoughtful. If we're thoughtful people that say, Now wait a minute. Why do I believe that? Who told me that was a thing? Most of us ain't that. So dismantling the policies and all of that stuff, that's great. That needs to happen, sure. But it's a lot harder fight dismantling those narratives that people just believe. It becomes shorthand when you see people shorthand. Oh, yeah, that figures. But what? The black guy failed the test. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Black people are monkeys. Yeah, all of you are monkeys. All of you are primates. All of you are primates. It's how you're defined scientifically. All of you are primates.
Mm-hmm.
So why does the monkey thing stick with black people? Because it's part of a narrative.
That part. So here the goddamn going. Hold on. Here the goddamn article trying to be unbiased again. Simultaneously, his public relationship history and the rhetoric surrounding it have fueled a parallel critique. The charge of fetishes.
Say it!
The charge of fetishization is not merely about his choice of partners, but about the performance of that choice. The alleged milk jokes. Let me stop right there. They are not.
Why do you say alleged?
Because they're trying to be unbiased. All right, let me. So now I had to pull it up. I had to pull it up.
You have to.
It's a picture of him in one of the little things that you wear that holds the baby.
I used to have my daughter in that. Yeah.
And he's holding the baby, and the baby's mouth is on his chest, and it says the caption.
That's ridiculous.
The caption is Gia trying to get some chocolate milk. Next,
that's
the baby be feeling like Kevin Hart with them bottles of milk. He posted a picture of him and his wife and captioned it, "Cookies and Milk, National Milk Day." Let me see.
All this is, look, y'all, I got a white wife. That's all this is. Look, y'all, my wife's white. Yo, brag about her accomplishments. Brag about how important she is to your family. How important she is to your life.
RG3 made a post that said, "All basketball fans, this is a safe space. Do you think Caitlin Clark is being hated on, or is it just basketball?" Somebody responded to that and said, "We know how you love your milk, so this isn't even a topic for you." His response was, "Listen here, Hurtis, because that's not a joke. He's not trying to make a joke. That is what he's not trying to make a joke. That is the person's tag. Listen here, Hurtis. This is a safe space. Do you think Caitlin?" No, he said, "Listen here, Hurtis. Last time I checked, milk does the body good." Now, that response was not appropriate given.
No.
Okay.
No, that response was not appropriate given what you just said.
Right. He posted a photo of Goku going Super Saiyan, saying Super Saiyan Milkman. And then he posted a photo of him and his wife talking about Post Malone concert with this tall glass of milk. So
wait a minute. If you don't see color,
right,
like you questioned earlier in the show, if you don't see color, why are you making all these references to her color? Please explain.
That part. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate the report's attempts to try to be unbiased, but we're not. These aren't alleged. This happened. I can still go to his Twitter page and search the word milk, and these things pop up. So, ultimately, RG3 has become a vessel for a broader, unresolved cultural debate. That's fair. The controversies surrounding him are not solely about his individual character or choices. They reflect the immense and often contradictory pressures placed upon black male celebrities. He is expected to be a role model, but the definition of that role is fiercely contested. He is expected to show racial solidarity, but the terms of that solidarity are subject to intense intra-community policing. He is expected to have a public platform, but what he is allowed to say with it and how his personal life qualifies or disqualifies his voice is a matter of constant negotiation and dispute. The unresolved case of Robert Griffin III is a testament to the enduring complexities of navigating black identity in the American public square, where every word, every action, and every private relationship can be rendered as a political statement.
It's American. It's an American false narrative about individualism that bothers me here. As if group dynamics don't matter. Like you can do something because you're an individual that could harm an entire group. But because you're an individual, we prioritize your right to do that without accountability. And the moment you are called to carpet for that shit, there's this talk about, well, how come you just can't be an individual, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you why in this specific case, because he's literally hurting groups of people.
That part.
He is spreading things that are negatively received by those who already are predisposed to hate said group and are in power to do something about it. I don't know when the last time you looked at the demographic makeup of Congress. I don't know when the last time you looked up the demographic makeup of the Fortune 500 companies. I don't know when the last time you looked at the demographic makeup of Hollywood, education, etc.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Also, I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea that you think that a group is not allowed to gatekeep what hurts them.
Oh, absolutely.
Gatekeep against things that hurt them. Like,
I think
that's ridiculous.
Fuck that bullshit. Like, listen, I empathize with him because his parents fucked him up, right? But that's about as far as I go with.
Yeah, because you're an adult now.
Yeah, you're an adult now. You're he's my age.
Yeah,
if not a little bit older,
you can learn.
Maybe a little bit younger.
Yo, that's the other thing too. When I was growing up, I was 100% conditioned by the community, friends, family to be anti-gay as shit.
Yep, that's the thing.
Virulently so. Anti-gay. I grew up for a lot of years, and that was my whole mentality.
Yeah.
Slurs, all that shit. I learned better.
Yep.
And I was submerged in it. So you're making a choice not to be educated on the shit. Not to figure out the connections why treating this group of people like shit can turn right around and bite you in the ass when it comes to groups that don't like you and have the power to legislate against your rights.
Yeah.
When you can't see the parallels, like I heard this type of shit. Well, the difference is we can't change being black. They can't change being gay either, dude. Like
that part.
What are you talking about?
What are we talking about? Are we having a real conversation?
No, we're obviously not.
No.
Yeah, we're obviously not. So at the end of the day, I remember all those dumbass arguments because I used to make them. And they sound stupid. So I'm saying if someone was born in the last year of the 60s, 1969, I grew up during the 80s and the 90s. If I could grow the fuck up around all that homophobic, just virulent anti-gay rhetoric, and even from a religious standpoint, because I was a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So if I could do that, I really don't want to hear the excuses from these other people about your upbringing. Yeah, there's some things that are going to stick with you.
Yeah.
100%. That shouldn't be one of them.
No, not at all. I mean, to have the nerve to say that Jackie Robinson wasn't a political issue.
Yikes, Ryan. Yikes.
What is happening?
Yeah, bro. I hate.
What is happening? What do you?
What
So you don't understand what integration means?
You don't
What
understand
about it is the part that messes with me is everything else. I can try to find a BOD potentially for him, even a loose one, one. That one I can't think of anything, because what part didn't you understand? Do you not know what Jackie Robinson did? No, clearly
not only that. No, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's not. He knew what he did. He doesn't know what politics means.
That's
Most
possible.
of you don't.
That's possible.
Listen, I'm telling you. The reason I know, I've seen very intelligent people about everything else. When we start having some of these conversations, these difficult conversations, and they say to you, why you gotta make everything so political?
Yeah.
As if everything isn't political.
Yeah, pretty much by definition.
By definition, your standard of life, your standard of living, your quality of life revolves around politics and policies. They 100% do. The amount of money you make, how much of it you keep, how that affects your family household budget, how it affects what schools your kids can go to, how it affects your vacation, how it affects your medical stuff. All of that stuff is politics and more. And when I hear people say, I gotta make everything political, I instantly have come to the realization you don't understand what politics mean. You think politics is just you proclaiming to be one party or the other.
Right.
That's what you believe. You believe foolishly. You believe erroneously.
That part.
It's all of it. So here's the thing. If you support policies and helped put motherfuckers in place that hurt me and my family, it's personal.
That part.
It's personal. It's that simple. So trying to run away from accountability from that is ludicrous. Mm-hmm. It's the height of absurdity. You trying to run from that when you supported this bad thing happening to my family. You know, slavery was political too. So segregation, Jim Crow, all that shit. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it anymore. So you mad at somebody over politics? Yeah, your politics got my nana deported. Fuck you.
That part.
Get the fuck out of it. No. That shit encompasses a lot of things. And the problem is y'all don't want to be viewed a certain type of way because of that shit. That's what it is. Unfortunately, that's life. If you take a certain position on certain things, other people have the absolute right to view you a certain type of way after that. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. That's how it's always been. This thing you're arguing for now doesn't exist. It never has. Mm-hmm. It just never has. If you was cool with the barbarians at Rome's gates, that was political. War is political.
Indeed.
You was cool with that? All right. So all the people that lost fathers, had their houses burned, and all that other shit have a right to be mad at you.
Yeah.
You supported that? You was down with that shit? I lost everything. I lost family members. I'm supposed to go, well, you know, it was just politics. Who does that? Who? This is one of the things that got this country in trouble in the first place with the whole terrorism thing. Right. You think you can go to somebody else's place because they have some natural resource that you just got to get your fucking hands on, and you feel like you're entitled to it, right? You think you can go over there, destabilize their government, fuck their economy up, take squeeze and funnel all the value out of their society to prop up yours, and they're not going to be mad about that shit? You think you can get rid of a democratically elected a politician, president, whatever, over there, and install your puppet who then goes to oppress those people for 25 years, and they're not going to be mad at you? That's insane. That's a certain amount of, that's where entitlement has gone to such a degree that it has literally rotted your brain to believe that. It reminds me when Trump first did those tariff things in this second term. And one of the things he said to people was, all right, nobody retaliate. Nigga!
Right. Like, what are
you talking about?
Sir, what do you mean? Do you understand what that word means?
Do you even know? Nobody retaliate. We're just going to... You just sparked a turf war.
Yeah.
And then you're going to say, nobody retaliate. We can figure all this out. What? Can you imagine walking into a room and shooting somebody? Throwing your gun on the table like, look, nobody retaliate. I know I did that, but we can work it out. What the fuck are you talking about? So you don't get to then tell somebody it's not personal when their life has been affected negatively and their families' lives have been affected. You don't get to do that. You sound dumb. Own it. And it's also cowardly, by the way. Very cowardly. Stand on that shit.
That part.
You did that? You affected their life? Stand on it. Because when them chickens come home to roost, stand on it. It was just my political opinion. Your political opinion was that the things that were put in place to even the playing field for me and mine, after never having those things before and allowing you and your community to have an advantage for centuries, I get that for what, 50 years? And then your political opinion is we shouldn't have it anymore? And then it goes on to negatively affect my community. It goes to destroy our middle class. Everybody poor, everybody broke. And I'm not supposed to take that personal? Good luck with that, to quote Superman from that movie.
Yeah.
Luck with that.
Hilarious. All right. Time for weekend review.
Weekend review. Indeed. So first thing I'm going to tell you is, I went to see the Superman movie. I have thoughts. I have feelings. I'm not going to really go into
you.
Shut up. Oh. I'm not going to go into that because I'm sure there's people that haven't seen it yet. And I am not going to be spoiling shit, unlike some of you savage motherfuckers with the Ironheart shit. It's a good thing I had watched it when I did, because I saw motherfuckers the day of the big reveals, literally on their fucking Facebook and Instagram and shit, telling snitching ass niggas, telling. But we did go to see it. Like I said, I have my thoughts. I'll give you something very vague. I was entertained. There were things I was conflicted about. And I don't care what you tell me. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you say it. That is the butt ugliest Superman outfit.
That's hilarious.
That has ever been.
That is hilarious.
It's terrible. It doesn't mean the movie's bad. But that is a horrible, from every angle, it's bad.
Yikes.
It looked like pajamas. Quilty pajamas. Horrible. Horrible. But I did enjoy the movie. I was entertained. And that's as much as I'll say about that part of it right there. The other thing is, I did get a referral from my doctor to deal with his ADHD. I did get that. So I just have to schedule an appointment with that. I hope it helps. I don't know. Nigga almost 60, so it might be too late for all that. But whatever the case is, hopefully that works. The other thing is what I have decided this week after conferring with Majestic staff is that we just need more content. And we need more behind the scenes content too, which is relatively difficult for me only because when I'm in the mood to create something, I don't turn on a camera.
That part.
It's not my first thought to turn on the camera while I'm creating. However, what I thought I could do, though, is something that is in my wheelhouse. And that's when I take my hikes and all of that, bring my camera with me. I had a conversation about my thought process, creativity, shit like that. Even the history of what we started at Majestic, right? So I'll be doing stuff like that. Graydon will be doing stuff like that. I would suggest that anybody, including SBJ, including Christopher, do some stuff like that because you never know that footage might come in handy. Just saying. The behind the scenes stuff with Majestic might come in handy. You know what I'm saying? Right? So handle that. As far as anything else, so we do have an issue here in the house with one of the pets, one of the chinchillas. So the issue with the chinchilla is that its tooth was growing really awkwardly. And it was causing it not to eat because it was in pain. Right? So wife took it to the veterinarian, one that specialized in these exotic pets. It went and examined it and all of that, decided to do some surgery and take that tooth out. Took the tooth out. So now she's had to give it like its pain medicines and all that stuff by hand. Holding one of them motherfuckers like this with a syringe and trying to get it in its mouth. Right? So she managed to do that. And when she took the chinchilla back to the vet, the mouth had healed. Looks like it healed nicely. Should still be in pain, but yet he's still very bloated with gas. And that's because he's not eating. Right. So it's still something that's happening. So she feeds him by hand every 5 hours or so. And what I'm hoping is that he snaps back to what he was before. But you guys know how it is with pets. Like sometimes they respond well to medication and stuff like that. And believe me, my wife loves these critters. She loves these critters. She will go above and beyond to help them. Right? Things that maybe some other people wouldn't. It was like, well, I guess we had to, Nah, wifey will hang in there and try to help. It's one of the things I love about her is that empathy and compassion she has with stuff that she has taken responsibility for like a life or whatever. She's not one of these pet owners that gets the pet simply for the selfishness of I say I have one of these.
Yeah.
Like, nah, she generally loves them and tries to take care of them as best as she can. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, there is something else I saw the other day. And this is what I mean by people get on my nerves. They really do get on my nerves. I'm just gonna. This will be on our Substack too, by the way. Miss me with your fake outrage about artists using AI. I'm not here for your fake outrage or your down the street discount bin activism when it comes to creatives using AI. So the other day, I'm on Instagram and I see that one of my favorite groups of all time, Public Enemy, who are goated in my book as a group, they dropped some new music. I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. Then I watched the video. instantly, I can tell it's AI. Done badly by AI. Not even trying to hide it. The video, trash. Let me be the first to say it. Absolute garbage. But you know what? They're still one of my goats. So I'm not mad that they dropped something. In fact, good for them for still putting music out even now.
Very true.
Then I looked at the comments. What do I see? The usual parade of people, most of them not artists themselves, talking trash about them using AI. Here's my question. When was the last time you bought a Public Enemy album? When was the last time you streamed one of their songs? Went to a show, bought a t-shirt, bought anything? You say they're legends. I agree with you. That they were the soundtrack of your childhood. I agree with that. Cool. So when the last time you spent money on them? Odds are it's been decades. Because in terms of the mainstream music industry, PE hasn't been relevant in a long time.
Sure.
But guess what? They're still artists. They still get the itch, still want to create. But they don't have the kind of budget they used to have when they were signed to a major. So what do? They use the tools that's available. Right now, that's AI. Now, are there legit critiques about AI? Yes.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Is it perfect? Hell no. Is it controversial? Sure. Are there legit critiques to be made? Absolutely. Let's talk about one of them. How it affects the environment. That's real. That's valid. The computing power behind it, massive. The energy consumption, not small. But you know what else hurts the environment? Your car, your air conditioning, the phone you charge every night, fast fashion you rock twice then throw out, the 10 Amazon packages you order in a week, all of that comes with a carbon cost. Yet I don't see the same energy. I don't see you shaming people in the comments for using Uber. I don't see you dragging folks for driving to brunch. So why is this where you plant your moral flag? Let's not pretend it's about the environment. If it were, your lifestyle would look real different. The outrage is performative. But let me tell you what's foul. All this armchair outrage when artists use this tech just to keep creating. Y'all out of line. Here's the truth. Big corporations are going to use AI no matter how you feel. You can rant, cry, boycott, repost, infographics. Won't change a thing. You know it. I know it. And all this talk about AI robbing artists, let's not pretend like people haven't been uploading their art willingly to the internet for years. For exposure, for community, for the shot of being seen. That's what built the system. And now suddenly everybody's concerned? PE, Chuck, Flav, the whole crew, they're artists too. Mm-hmm. You better believe their voices, images, and energy were part of the data that trained some of these models. Because unlike most of you, they were successful getting their art out to a wide range of people globally. Mm-hmm. So if anybody has a right to use that tool, it's them. Let's talk about your phone for a minute. You say you're defending artists, cool. Let me ask you this. You gonna stop using your cell phone? Because that little miracle in your pocket, that took exploited labor and blood minerals from the Congo. Strip mined land, underpaid workers, children dying so you can text and post memes. I don't see you giving that up. You virtue signal when it's convenient. Meanwhile, the same starving artists you swear you're defending, most of them don't even live off their art. Let's be honest. Most artists, they got day jobs because they got bills. And their art isn't paying for any of that. Either they don't have to reach, or they're still figuring it out, or the system's just rigged against them. But PE lived off of their art for decades. And now that the big label checks dried up, they're trying to keep it going, keep it moving. But the moment they use something new to save money, y'all ready to crucify them. Let's zoom out for a second. The entire history of technology is built on exploitation, stolen patents, miscredited inventors, people who didn't invent a damn thing getting rich because they filed paperwork first. You mad now because artists are trying to survive the same way everyone else has? Then you turn right around and complain about why the same 7 companies control all the IP.
Huh.
While all we get is the same rebooted content every year. This is why. Because anytime smaller creators get access to something powerful, y'all kill it with your think pieces and mob outrage. Since we're talking about IP, let's keep it real for a second again. How many of y'all going to go see Superman? I did. I saw it yesterday. I got thoughts. But that's not what this is about right now.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you already seen Superman? Or maybe not this version.
Right.
But they've made how many? Same goes for Batman over and over again. Now, look, I ain't got to tell you, I love comic book movies. But let's call it what it is. It's repackaged content. Same characters, new coat of paint. And they keep doing it for one reason. Access. DC, Marvel, Warner Brothers, Disney. These companies don't just own IP. They own infrastructure, marketing machines, distribution pipelines, funding. They've got access. They're the ones you're always complaining about feeding us sequels, reboots, and the same tired plots. But here's the thing. Indie creators can't break through. Not because they aren't dope, not because they aren't creative, but because they don't have that level of reach or pop culture saturation. And now some new tools come along. Tools that could actually help level the playing field for some of them. Help indie creators market, publish, and promote without million-dollar budgets. And what do? You demonize them for using tools. All while still complaining that you're getting the same reheated stories from the same megacore. Pick a struggle. That's my week.
Yikes.
Just saying.
You broke it. You broke it. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. I didn't do nothing.
You did plenty.
I mean, all right, let's see. I didn't do nothing.
You did plenty, nigga.
So, let me see. Monday. Yeah, I really didn't do nothing. I went to work. I got up each day.
You got up each day?
Yeah, I got up
each day?
Yeah, each day, unfortunately. And got myself ready. Got out of the house, drove to that place, and did things there. And then most of those days did things other places. And then drove to this place and did much fewer things, but still things. Things still were done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my week was filled with quite a few things that I can't really talk about.
I know. I know. But
so I mean, there's that. So there was this one thing on Monday that I had did before work that was in reference to something that I can't talk about.
I hate you.
That was extreme. Look, this is the only way I can talk about. This is the only thing I can. It's the only way I can talk about my week. So there was this one thing that I did on Monday before work in reference to the thing that I can't talk about, and it made it was a very encouraging sign for the plan of the thing that I can't talk about. It was extremely encouraging. It was great. Everybody was happy. Then, because of that thing, I was like, all right, I can go ahead and talk to a couple more people about what this plan is. Right? So I'm like, all right, bet these particular people that I wanted to talk about this with for the longest time, but I couldn't because it wasn't time yet. Because of Monday, it was now time. It's like, all right, bet. Well, actually, to be honest, there are some plans in life that there are certain people that you might talk about it with regardless. Like, no matter if the plan comes out successfully or whatever the case, you want to talk to these people regardless because they your peoples.
Right. Absolutely.
So I've realized that shortly before the thing that happened Monday, but we were so close to the thing that was happening Monday, and I was like, all right, I'm just waiting until afterwards. Fine. So I'm like, all right, I need a plan. How am I gonna talk to these people? And I'm like, oh, okay, figure it out. Take them out to eat.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. Now, some people think that is a bad thing. Like some people, get broken up with in public places so they won't cause so they won't cause a scene. That's a thing that people do. That's but yeah, I was like, the best way to do this is probably, go out to eat. It's a celebratory thing.
It's a celebration, brothers.
I mean, so I'm like, all right, bet. Did that. That went almost exactly how I expected it to. So that was cool. And then
I saw the video.
Yeah, you saw the video. It's a big project, people. Once I'm able to talk about it.
This project, bruh, him saying it's a big project is an understatement.
Once I'm able to talk about it, it'll be you guys will understand. You guys will understand. So did that. We went to karaoke last night, but we went to a different place.
I saw Dion's picture.
Mm-hmm. We went to a different place than we normally go, and it was cool. It wasn't exactly what I expected it was going to be, but
I don't get it, and maybe I'm not supposed to, but I don't get it.
Which karaoke?
The karaoke. I've never got.
We've talked about this.
I know, and I've never. Y'all love that shit. Like
people enjoy interacting with music, and people enjoy interacting with music communally.
But I don't.
There are several ways to do that. What?
I don't like interacting with people.
Shut the hell up. There are several ways you can do that. One is concerts, right?
Concerts suck. I've been to plenty. They suck.
Concerts aren't great. They aren't. But another way that you have a little more control over and is less overwhelming than concerts is karaoke. Now, some things about that could be annoying for some people, but that's why this kind of karaoke was better, because it's like we had a private room. So it's just us. So some of that shit that is still annoying about public karaoke goes away with the private room.
Just the crew.
Yeah, it's just us. So like,
even that.
No, listen.
That's why I'm clowning.
Some of it was still annoying. That's funny. Some of it was still annoying. But I think everybody feels like we would at least try that place one more time.
You know how I feel about y'all? That friend circle that I'll be looking at from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are the quintessential sitcom crew.
That's an observation.
Like but it would be a cable sitcom. It couldn't
absolutely, nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
It couldn't be network.
It couldn't be network.
No.
It's cable, right?
Absolutely.
Or streaming service. Right? Or something like that, right?
Absolutely.
But what I see there, I'm not saying it's foreign to me. It's different.
Yeah.
Because so for years, my group of friends, we did things, but we ain't do things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like every so often, some of them niggas will want to go bowling.
Right.
I don't like bowling. I've gone, but I don't like it. Usually I go play pool. Now all of us would go and play pool. Everybody couldn't play pool really good, but they went anyway because it was mostly jokes.
Yeah.
Mostly jokes, right? But like I said, what I see with y'all, there's this love of being around each other and being communal and being.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I relate to that with when me, you, and Keith would go and without cameras and go around. That's how I relate to that. Absolutely. So when I see y'all doing that, that's how I relate to it. Like, oh, they all right. That's what's up.
That's exactly
because I'm telling you, me and my friends did not. That's not.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything.
That's exactly what it
is.
We
hung around the block.
Right.
Or went to the mall. Yeah. Went there. And we didn't do things. We didn't travel.
Yeah.
Place y'all do all that shit. Now when I see y'all doing that, I'll be like, this is so much different. Literally people I would die and kill for.
Right.
We've never left the state together. Like never.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about that last statement is that's partially how it started, because I was like, all those years ago, that first time I left the country as an adult, I was like, I got to do this again. And my very next thought was, fam, this is somebody like, absolutely. And we have never left the city together. Yeah. Like, what is happening? So
it's Baltimore. It's the Baltimore thing. I tell people this all the time. I grew up not even really knowing where all the different parts of Maryland was because I'd never been there.
Yeah.
And when I would see it on the map, like Western Maryland, that's just dumb far. Like,
it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, people, like, it's like the whole Europeans not understanding how big the United States is thing.
Yeah.
It's like that with Maryland. Like, people don't understand, because you look at maps, right? You look at maps of the United States, and you see how small Maryland is on the map of the United States. Yeah. Maryland is not small.
Not by a long shot.
And they call Maryland Little America because it pretty much has every type of terrain on the continent inside of it. I think the only thing we're missing is a desert.
That's the only thing we're missing. Yeah. And truthfully, when I realized that how big Maryland was, it was when I got older. Mm-hmm. Like, classic example, me and this nigga would find places that we didn't even know existed.
Nigga.
And he would go, it's near water.
Right. Let's go.
Let's go. Right. And I mean, we would go, and it's like, yo, I didn't even know this shit was even here. Right. So Maryland is bigger than people think. And your other point about the map thing is crucial, because you can't look at the map as a one-to-one when it comes to size. Like they literally over exaggerate the size of the United States in comparison, and under exaggerate the size of Africa. The United States, it's a continent, can fit inside Africa 3 times.
Yeah.
Africa is
massive.
Stupid massive, right? But it's like you said, man, like you was an adult when you decided to leave and do this and that, and then you introduced it to your other friends now. Fabo is military dude, so I'm pretty sure
he had been out of the country.
He had been out of the country. But the fact of going with your friends, that's something different.
Right.
That is something different. That to me, that's like a next stage sort of thing in friendship.
Yeah.
Where, like, of course we homeboys because we home.
Facts.
Now we about to go someplace else and shit, right?
Yo, that's hilarious.
we homeboys because we home. Now we about to go to another country or another this and another. We got now we really got to watch each other's back. We got to make sure each other's cool. This, that, and never. Like that. That's a different tier of friendship.
That's facts.
And because I come from scarcity and poverty, my friends, we ain't had the money.
Right.
And the friends of mine that did have the money, I wasn't going with them overseas because them niggas was probably going to get something and then try to bring that shit back. Mm-hmm. Right? they didn't have money because their parents was rich. Yeah. They had money because they was playing ghetto games.
Facts.
I'm not leaving the country with your ass. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? But no, man. Like I said, a lot of times when on the show, the various times you talked about your experiences on the trip and the planning of the trip and all that stuff, I always marvel at that shit because Even though I have had a chance to go to other countries and all that shit now, it's not even near where as often as I would like for it to be. You know what I'm saying?
It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah,
it is. It's a lot of effort, and the only thing that makes it worth it is those particular people being who they are. Yeah, because like
getting around people. Yep.
There's certain situations where I absolutely couldn't. Like, nah, I would never.
That's the other thing. Me knowing you, some of these things seem like something you would not want to be bothered with.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga, I know he couldn't possibly like this part of it.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, once you get there, because I know what you're like,
that part, it's day and night. It's day and night.
You
don't even like especially whenever we happen to be by a beach. Oh, nigga, the salt air.
Different. It's different, bro.
Oh, it's so different.
When you down there near the equator,
bruh,
the sun hit, like, everything looked different now.
Everything.
The way the sun hit plants, the water, it's a different thing. So anybody that hasn't traveled, I know if you listen to this show and you haven't really gone too many places, you hear SBJ talk about the 16 trips they go to every year. Yeah. Like, you should definitely use that to inspire you to go places. Now, me, I love traveling with my family. Love traveling with my wife and my kids and all that shit. Love that shit. Find somebody you like to, or go by your damn self. I got a homeboy named CJ.
Sure.
CJ goes everywhere pretty much by himself, and he got mad friends. But they Baltimore. I'm just saying, they Baltimore people. CJ go every goddamn way. That nigga was in Turkey year before last or some shit. They didn't go every goddamn
way. So yeah, we did that. That was fun. Like I said, there were a couple things that I wasn't like it's I don't know which country, but it's an Asian theme joint. So some of the things with the karaoke list were in a different language, and not all of it. Like it wasn't. All right, so some of the stuff was in a different language, but that didn't make it difficult to navigate. It was difficult to navigate for other reasons. So there was that, and then like there was a miscommunication. They didn't give us the room that we thought we were going to be having, so it was a little small for our party, but it wasn't like cramped or anything. It was just slightly small for our party. So I feel like next time we get the bigger room and see what that's like, because everybody coming out and going in, they was having a blast. We had fun. So
right.
We'll check that out next time and see if we can get the bigger place. So next, Author Watch. So I didn't make a bunch of progress with the story itself. I did start working on it, but I found this program, I guess is the best way to call it, specifically for novel writing. And I started moving everything over to that platform. And that's the majority of what I was doing with the novel during this week. And I feel like that is going to be really helpful versus having to dig through all these damn Google Docs all the damn time in order to try to make things work and make it do what they do. So that's that part. And then let me see. Then there's the Substack stuff. So again, our Substack is up and running. I don't know if there's any amount of articles that is promised weekly, but so far it's been 3 articles. It's been 3 articles. Generally, I try. I think the absolute aim is 1 article.
Yes. Yes.
That's the aim. But what tends to happen is something topical will come up.
And you want to be kind of in the moment with it.
Yeah.
Because your thoughts about it, I know what you're saying. Like the 2 that I wrote was because it was in the moment. It was literally shit I saw or something that was happening that I wanted to comment on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if you wait around, you're not gonna have the same energy.
Yeah, it changes. So at the very least, so it became that type of thing. So like I see a thing, I'm like, oh, this would be a dope article. Okay, let's do the article. Oh, right. The article's done just to be done. But wait, this particular subject is a hot topic right now, and I don't know what the benefit would be of waiting. And then I go back and forth between, well, what if I'm not able to write an article every single week? And then it's a whole back and forth with this. So
it's the same thing. It's the same shit that I had with YouTube.
Yeah.
So there's a moment where when you first had the idea for the channel, you create a lot of content and you're posting all the time. But you start to wonder to yourself, can I keep this pace up? And one of the things that's very demotivating is when you don't see the result that you kind of was looking for.
Nigga.
Like you have a hard time driving the traffic to the stuff you're doing. Your brain starts to do shit like, well, am I wasting my time doing this?
Yeah.
Now the question you ask yourself is, well, I like doing it. So that could be your motivation for doing it. But I do find that that's the other reason why I haven't really stretched out trying another YouTube, because I don't want to start something else that I'm just gonna
that part. That part. These articles are relatively easy to write for me because some of it is an extension of the type of YouTube videos that I used to do.
Very true. Very true.
Like literally a couple of the topics are literally I went into my docs and found the script for a video that I was going to do and just transferred that over to article format. Like
also
literally.
People are very inspiring. People are inspiring, and I'm not saying that that's always a good thing.
No.
What I'm saying is
people's behaviors.
Their behavior inspires ire.
Yeah.
Not like ire. Like
facts.
If I'm telling somebody, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Well, I'm dressing something down, a concept, an idea. And because it just so happened, as fucked up as things can be, we are living in a time when a lot of things get my goat.
Hey.
A lot of things scuff my Timbs.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I see it, I say I should write this now. Now, here's the great thing about it. Having something in your hand that allows you to record and polish it while you're out and about. So I don't necessarily have to be sitting behind my computer. As soon as I get an idea, I'm like, oh, I'm about to record this now, this rant right now. Record this rant right now and then polish it later. That helps, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that helps. Because I literally did both those, both the 2 that I submitted recently. I did those within the same span of each other.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes. So right now, we've only been posting for these 2 weeks.
Yes.
And we have like 186 views.
Nice.
So it's doing something. If you ain't on there yet, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the Substack. I don't wait. I gotta find the link again so I can post it. So that's the thing. This week, I don't know if that's. Oh yeah. So this week, the ones that have gone up are the article about RG3. And I intentionally made sure that what we did today is not what the article is.
Yeah.
It's not that we just, I just read the article on the show. No, that's not what the article is. The article is in a similar vein, but it's not what I read for the show.
Absolutely.
There's that. There's speaking of what I was talking about with the videos, a video that I was working on. I don't know if I ever released it. I may or may not have, but who gives a hell? I just transferred it to article form. Is the whole thing with the TV show Scandal and Shonda Rhimes? And her whole colorblind casting thing. Like, I'm not a fan of that part. And then the article that came up today was about the Clips and their masterful album rollout that they did for their album that came out yesterday.
These are facts.
So, yeah, like I felt like the Scandal one was not topical at all. It was just the one that I was furthest along in making. And when I realized, like, oh shit, I didn't post an article yet this week. That was Thursday. And I was like, all right, well, the Scandal one is pretty much done because I made the script. The script is done. Right. I just got to change it to an article. So I posted that. And then the RG3 shit happened.
Right.
So it's like, God damn. Well, I was already Funny enough, I had already started working on an RG3 article. But it was about the Ryan Clark situation. It wasn't about specifically Angel Reese. But then this shit, he made that fucking tweet.
Yeah.
So I just picked the bones of that and just transferred it over to this whole article. And then the Clips thing is literally because they put an album out yesterday.
Yes.
That's just topical stuff. That's specifically to catch the moment. So yeah, there's that. If there's going to be so many more, I have several ideas for more articles already. I've started a list.
I'll get some.
Yeah, I've started a list, and it's just a whole thing. So, if y'all like reading articles, then you might want to go ahead and pop over to our Substack.
And also, you are allowed to do other sorts of content on there. So when we get available to do certain stuff, on there, we absolutely will.
Yes,
because Substack is a pretty flexible platform. I'm gonna tell you this much for nothing: if you already have a decent audience that's engaged, that is a great place. I look at that like almost better than Patreon.
Sure,
in some ways. Like I noticed, I saw the one journalist, Stacey Patton. She's got a nice little following of people. She posts often on her other platforms, right? So when she moved operations over there to Patreon, she still posts on, the other platforms. But when she moved over to there, she got a healthy amount of followers rather quickly. That's also part of the thing that I have never mastered, right? So I will literally have a bunch of, like, take my artist channel on YouTube. It's got about close to 16,000 subscribers, right? I've had difficulty having people migrate to other platforms that I'm on. They're there, and this is where most of them stay, right? Everything, new channels, new Facebook pages, like for instance the Majestic stuff and all of that. It's really difficult to do. Although we have more people on Majestic than I thought we did. I went and looked on the Majestic Facebook page. We got more than I thought we did. But still, it's like that is the trick. Being able to have your audience migrate to the other places that you exist and maybe do something a little different there. It's hard to do. So I always marvel at people that are able to do that shit.
Absolutely. And this is where we at. This is what we're doing. We need you guys cooperation in this manner. Go ahead and subscribe, read the articles, share the articles, all that other good stuff. Help us build this thing up so we can so we can keep it going and expand it and all that other good stuff. But yeah, I think that's it.
So we want to thank all of you once again for joining us for another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast. Please understand that there is always music.
Always.
There is past music. It don't dissipate and go away.
No. It's still there. Still there.
There is current music being worked on and all of that stuff. And there is future music. So if you want to stay abreast of all the new developments in any music from myself, from SBJ, from GA, from Graydon, go follow our streaming stuff. Spotify, iTunes, you name it, we're over there. Go follow that. Also, be sure to follow my sister, his significant other, Chrissy, with her Heard It Through the Grapevine podcast with Gigi. Gigi was not first, to be clear today. Gigi was not first. Just want to put that out there.
Thanks, Honey Dragon.
Thanks, Honey Dragon. Appreciate you. Also, don't forget that soon and very soon we'll be doing the Kickstarter for Emmy Award-winning Christopher Colburn's title, Singularity Issue 1. Right now, we have the launch page up, so go and follow that. Matter of fact, let me put the link.
Yes, definitely.
In the chat. So go and follow that so you will know when it goes live. Also, don't forget, also don't forget my guy, Super Side Guy, my other guy, Hendrix, Betters and Mutants podcast. Check that out as well. And Graydon, of course, does his office hours every day. So, go check into him while he's working in the office. And that's the thing about, he's legitimately working in the office.
He's
doing majestic work over there. We have meetings. You guys can't hear it because it's probably meetings, but that's why he puts the whole, hey, I'm in a meeting sign up or whatever. He's legitimately, he talked to me the other day about his reasoning for a lot of that. And I get it, why he's doing a lot of that way, because he's trying to get himself accustomed to being in an office working on majestic shit. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta play the role.
Absolutely.
When you have the role, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah. Also, let me give a quick shout out to my man Addy. And of course, a shout out to my brother Marlon, who experienced a death in the family recently. Shout out to him as well. Condolences. Definitely. But for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.
No diddy.